Unlike using the metric system, which is based on multiples of 10, time is based on a totally different number system, making it harder to convert between units of time. The purpose of this lesson is to carry out calculations and conversions involving time. You must be able to convert from larger units into smaller units. You must be able to convert from smaller units into larger units. You must also be able to convert fractions of time to the relevant unit. And lastly, you must be able to calculate elapsed time. Time conversions that you must know from memory. Yesterday we spoke about some of these, and I just want to reiterate. As you can see, 1 year is 365 days or 52 weeks, and for our maths calculations, 1 month is 4 weeks. We're now going to look at conversions and the calculations with time. So we're converting from larger units to smaller units. The first example, we have 4 hours, and you've got to convert that to minutes. From memory, you have to remember 1 hour to 60 minutes equals, we set up a ratio. If I have hours first, I must have hours to minutes on this side. And the 4 hours belongs in this slot, so I've got 4 hours to x minutes, fraction form, 1 over 60 equals 4 over x, cross multiply, 1 times x is x, equals 60 times 4, well 4 sixes are 24, so it's 240. Don't forget your units, so that would be 240 minutes. Let's look at a more complicated one. So we have 2 1/4 hours, and we've got to change that to seconds. Right, we have 1 hour to minutes, and from minutes to seconds. So we're going to do it in 2 steps. So again, 1 hour is 60 minutes equals 2 1/4 hours. So we have to have hours and seconds. So I have 2 1/4 hours to x seconds. Don't be perturbed about that fraction. Your calculator can handle it. So now we write everything in fraction form. 1 over 60 equals 2 1/4 over x. Cross multiply, 1 times x is x, equals 60 multiplied by 2 1/4. You're going to use your calculator, but the button you need on your calculator, you're not going to have 2 and then your fraction button. That will not give you the correct answer. So you are going to use, the shift plus the fraction button, and then your picture will look like this. You get a big block, which is your whole number plus your fraction. So if you go and put that in your calculator, x equals 60 times 2 1/4 will give you 135. These are minutes. Right, we've done this step here. Now we've got to convert that to seconds. So we've got to convert minutes to seconds. So we know that 1 minute, there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, equals, and I have to have minutes to seconds. This belongs in the minutes part of the ratio, so it's 135 minutes, and we've got x seconds. So I'm going to do my fraction form. 1 over 60 equals 135 over x. Cross multiply, 1 times x is x, equals 135 times 60 is 8,100 seconds in 2 1/4 hours. Right, let's have a look when we convert larger units to smaller units. So this one is a little bit more tricky. So I want you to pay careful attention here. So for example, you have 12,540 seconds, and you're going to have to convert that to hours, minutes, and seconds. Well, remember, we go from the other way around. Now we've got seconds, so we're going to go from seconds to minutes. So seconds, 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So I'm going to set up my ratio, minutes to seconds, because that's what I've got here. And this is 12,540 seconds. And we don't know how many minutes, so we're changing it to minutes. So the first thing I do, everything to fraction form, equals x over 12,540, cross multiply. So 60 times x is 60x equals 12,540. To get x on its own, I have to divide by 60. What I do to the one side, I do to the other. So therefore x, and if you take out your calculator, you will see that it's exactly 209 minutes. Right, we've now got to go from minutes to hours. So the conversion I'm going to have, 1 hour to 60 minutes. I set up my ratio. I have got 209 minutes, so I've got hours to minutes, and this was 209 minutes, and I've got to find out how many hours. Check, hours is in front, hours in front. Next step, fraction form, 1 over 60 equals x over 209, cross multiply. 60 times x is 60x equals 209. Divide by 60 so that I can get x on its own equals 209 divided by 60. And if I do that, I get 3,48 hours. Right, the problem here is the 48 hours. So far in my calculation, I have got 3 hours and 0,48, because 3,48 equals 3 plus 0,48. 0,48 of an hour. It is a fraction. So 3 hours, I'm happy with that. 3 hours plus. What does of mean? Well, remember, of means multiply. And I'm going to change my hours to minutes. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. I'm going to multiply by 60 in order to give me my minutes. So I'm going to take 0,48 multiplied by 60, and that will give me the minutes. So I've got 3 hours plus 28,8 minutes. So rounded off would be 3 hours 29 minutes. Let's look at this example of elapsed time. So this was a race, and Maria finished the race in 3 minutes and 48 seconds, while her friend Tandi finished in 4 minutes and 60 seconds. So we often get confused with the fact that when it's time, whoever finishes in the shortest time and not the longest time is the winner. So clearly Maria was the winner. Now your question asks, by how much did she win the race? So what we are going to do, it is a subtraction sum. So we are going to have 4 minutes and 6 seconds minus 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Right, your calculator can do this for you. So what you have to do, if you look on your calculator, you will see you have this button. That is your time button. It's actually for degrees, minutes, and seconds. So in your calculator, this is what you would type. You would type 4. You're going to hit your time button. 6, hit your time button. And then you're going to go minus 3, hit your time button. 48, hit your time button. Equals, and then your answer for that would be 18 seconds, or it gives you 0, 1, 8. Right, now I need to tell you, if you put these markings in on a test, you get no marks. That's just to help you, but you've got to use the correct terminology. So this is going to be 18 seconds. And that's all for today. Please will you do exercise 3 on page 79 for tomorrow's lesson. Page 79, exercise 3.